going to listen to this kind of intimidation?
They fingered you as one of those they think that have your way around judiciary, and that's one of the fears.
Well, did you not win the Supreme Court when you were removed as a governor? Did he pay bribe? Let me tell you what now. When he was removed as a governor, did he not reclaim his mandate in the Supreme Court? Judiciary was right. But now that he did not do this, did not happen, Judiciary is wrong.
So those who are claiming that...
Have you ever seen me one day? Let me tell you. I lost in the tribunal. Do you hear me come out to castigate Judiciary? I lost the Court of Appeal. Do you hear me castigate Judiciary? We have been losing cases. Because what? Even if I will, it is in my room. I will never come to the public.
Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election held in Nigeria on February 25, 2023, and the results controversially announced on March 1st, 2023, in which Bola Ahmed Tinubu was declared the winner of the election. And because of the controversy surrounding his emergence, those who felt aggrieved, especially Peter Obi of the Labour Party, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, and Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, they headed to the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal to challenge his emergence as the winner of the election. And on Wednesday, September 6th, 2023, the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, to the shock of Nigerians, most Nigerians, I dare say, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was validated, but that validation was not acceptable to the Labour Party, the People's Democratic Party, and their presidential candidates, Atiku Abubakar of the PDP and Peter Obi of the Labour Party, and they headed to the Supreme Court, where they want to sustain their claim that the election that produced Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot stand, and that if it can stand, that even Bola Ahmed Tinubu was not qualified to participate in it on the grounds of alleged forged certificates, on the ground of dishonesty, because he forfeited $460,000 proceeds of narcotic to the United States government in the 1990s, and so many other infractions they are alleged why he ought not to have participated in the election, that he ought to have been disqualified based on Section 137 of the 1999 Constitution. Not forgetting the fact that he didn't get 25% in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, a matter that had already been settled by the Supreme Court in 2008 in Yaradua versus Buhari, that 25% in Abuja is mandatory. But the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal overlooked all that, saying Abuja, 25% in Abuja is not compulsory and all that. So this matter is now headed to the Supreme Court, from where the Supreme Court will now look into this matter to find out, to tell Nigerians whether they still stand on their verdict in 2008 or they have changed their mind in 2023 on the status of Abuja in terms of declaring a president a winner. Okay? And then the issue of forfeiture. What does forfeiture mean? Is forfeiture evidence of crime committed in Nigeria or not? As far as the court's Presidential Election Petition Tribunal is concerned, it's a civil forfeiture, and it has taken more than 10 years since it happened, and all kinds of things. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu can travel to the United States. So if he can travel to the United States, it doesn't matter. Is it the same thinking that the Supreme Court has? Is it the same thinking that the Supreme Court has that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what was indicted was Aswad Bola Tinubu's, what was at fault or indicted was Aswad Bola Tinubu's bank accounts. Okay? His bank accounts and not Tinubu himself. Let us see whether that is also the reasoning of the Supreme Court. That is where things lies now. Now, but the outcome, as I said, the outcome is an issue that will continue to reverberate across the country, and there are several reactions to it. There are those who are happy with the outcome, those who believe that that is the best that could have happened from what was presented in the court. Of course, those are minority in Nigeria. Majority of Nigerians believe that there was a miscarriage of justice. Majority of Nigerians were agreeing with the Labour Party presidential candidate that there is a miscarriage of justice. Okay, so that's why the matter has gone to the Supreme Court. But there are some lies that are being perpetrated by some people that needs to be corrected. One of those was by Nyesom Wike, the former governor of Rivers State, and the minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. I watched him, that's why the video you watched before this was put for you, is because so that you see his claim and his reaction, where he deliberately, because I call it deliberate lies against Peter Obi, or Peter Obi's reaction on the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal outcome. Why did I say this? One, I don't know Peter Obi's handle on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, or wherever, but I know his handle on Twitter, or now known as X. When that judgment was going on, when the judgment was going on Wednesday, September 6th, Peter Obi was to me a person of interest. As somebody who follows news and an analyst, I was interested in his reaction. So I was following him bumper to bumper. I wanted to know his thinking. What is Peter Obi thinking about this as it's unfolding? Because one by one, all the things he wanted done was being dismantled, from the 25% to his witnesses. Because, as I said elsewhere, when they cancel those 10 out of his 13 witnesses, that to me was the game changer in what they wanted to do. Because there was no longer any hope for him when I saw the cancellation of those witnesses. I know that it will be difficult for him. So I was following him, whether he would give any reaction as all these things were unfolding. Peter Obi never reacted. Peter Obi never reacted. There was no tweet, and I challenged Nyesom Wike to show where Peter Obi talked about the outcome of the election after that matter. Peter Obi only talked about the election. In fact, he said nice things. He did. Let me not call it nice, but he spoke about the outcome and the justices respectfully. Respectfully. So the idea that it is when he wins that he say good about the judge, when he loses, he doesn't say good. When Peter Obi won, got his mandate as governor, the judiciary was right. Now that he didn't get it, the judiciary was wrong. As Nyesom Wike was saying, it is not true. Peter Obi, a day after, that's the next day, on Thursday, that's September 7th, spoke to Nigerians from Onitsha, where he respectfully talked about that the Justice of Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, that they have given their own verdict about this thing, okay, which is their which they have the power to do. Okay, and that they have seen it, and that they did not accept what was there, what they said. And since they don't have the final say on this matter, that he had instructed his lawyers to move to the Supreme Court. There was never any place where Peter Obi said that because we are given insinuation that because he didn't get it, the judiciary was bad. That was not. He didn't say they were bad. He didn't say they were bad. There was no way that Peter Obi said that they were bad or they were the judiciary is bad. He only said that he did not agree, that they did not agree with the verdict. So they are, and since they don't have this Presidential Election Petition Tribunal don't have the final say, they are now moving to the people that have the final say, to the Supreme Court, which is a fair thing to do. Nyesom Wike himself have admitted in several interviews when the court nullified the election of members of House of Assembly, members of the legislators in Rivers State, didn't he go appeal against it? And the idea that Peter Obi and co were bad-mouthing the judiciary or saying negative things. Have you ever seen where Peter Obi said anything negative about the judiciary? He had always been the number one in having belief in the judiciary. He had always been the number one in having confidence in the judiciary, because his own life, the trajectory of Peter Obi in the political space had all been the result of the judiciary. So he cannot turn around and be condemning them or bad-mouthing them. Peter Obi had never. When the NBA invited him, he said nice things about judiciary. When the NBA invited him before the election, he didn't say, he was praising them, because it was the judiciary that made it possible for him to become governor in 2003, after almost 3 years at the what they call it, at the courts. After almost 3 years or thereabout. So he cannot be somebody who badmouth the judiciary. I think that was 2006. I think I'm missing up. But the truth of the matter is that he waited for 3 years before the Supreme Court pronounced him governor. So he knows the importance of the judiciary in terms of seeking redress. He knows the importance of the judiciary in terms of seeking redress. So he cannot badmouth the judiciary the way Nyesom Wike was saying. Peter Obi never badmouthed the judiciary. He never said anything. He has always said that the judiciary is reliable to be able to give justice to Nigerians. I'm using himself as an example. The judiciary did not only ensure that he got his mandate back. Okay? The judiciary did not only ensure that he got his mandate back. They also ensured that when he was impeached, he returned. That's a fact. Now, for you to now input what people say on social media, of course, there are people on social media who were saying things about the judiciary based on their experiences, based on what they have observed, who are basing the assessment of the judiciary on latest development. For example, they queried how is it that somebody who contested for presidential ticket of the APC was able to contest for Senate. How is that possible? How is that possible? They are asking. So these are the things and so many other things. How did somebody who came forth emerge the governor of a state in Imo? These are questions I ask. And when I bring up this one, people often tell me, ask me, okay, but you are saying that Peter Obi can move from third position to first position. Peter Obi's movement from third position to first position, I can give you the clarity. I have done it in several videos. The clarity how he will move on it. In a fair society, where there is rule of law, where judges give judgment without fear or favor. I've shown it in several videos. But I challenge anybody to show me how Uzodinma moved from fourth position to first position. Now, all these are issues that make people to run a campaign, talk about that all eyes should be on the judicial. It is not Peter Obi that is financing all eyes being on judicial. Because from all I see, most of those people who are doing it are NGOs abroad and within the country. Many of them have even addressed press conferences protesting the demolition of their billboards. So anybody, strangely in Nigeria today, anybody who disagrees with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration is obedient. Anybody in Nigeria today who wants things to be done rightly is obedient. Of course, it has become synonymous that any opposition now is obedient. Even when the PDP people say something, it's attributed to the obedience. All eyes on the judiciary. Peter Obi had never said anything about it. That had been a civil society-driven agenda to ensure that the judiciary did the right thing. It's not Peter Obi that sent them. Because if you say that anybody who run any campaign for the judiciary to do the right thing, or that anybody who says positive thing about Peter Obi, that is Peter Obi that is responsible for him doing that, it means that even Nyesom Wike that was on Channels television, it means that it was Asiwaju that told him to go and react to the outcome of the election. So we can as well say that it's not Wike's statement. That must be so Asiwaju talking. And whatever he said that day, it will be taken as the word of Asiwaju. It's not. What Nyesom Wike presented, said that day, as far as I'm concerned, in that interview, this latest interview, was his personal views. It was his personal views. It doesn't mean that he was speaking for Tinubu. He might have done it to please Tinubu, to show his loyalty. But that doesn't mean that it's Tinubu that was saying it. We know when Tinubu speaks, when his lawyers speak, when they present their final written address, we know that it's Tinubu speaking because his lawyers are talking for him. But Nyesom Wike is a minister. Why the president appointed him? In terms of the reaction to that election, he is not the appropriate person to react on behalf of Asiwaju. The appropriate people to react are the APC, who are members of the Tinubu's party. They are the ones that could react. The the special advisor on information to the president, and then the minister of information. They are the people that are entitled. When they speak, you know that they are speaking on behalf of Tinubu. So it is unconscionable the kind of things they put on Peter Obi. When people say all eyes on the judiciary, they say it's Peter Obi that is blackmailing the judiciary. How? How many people that does Peter Obi buy data for on social media? How many people are on his payroll? There are millions of Nigeria on social media saying nice things about Peter Obi, saying beautiful things about him, and saying negative things about his opponents that he knows nothing about. Because nobody could be able to fund goodwill. What Peter Obi is enjoying is a goodwill. It is goodwill. Nyesom Wike and others should be able to know that. None of them will go to the streets on their own without distributing money and enjoy the kind of love that Peter Obi enjoys on the street. Nobody. Even Nyesom Wike cannot go to Port Harcourt and get the kind of love that Peter Obi will get on the street of Port Harcourt. Organic love that Peter will get in Port Harcourt, where Nyesom Wike had built flyovers. He cannot get it. He cannot get it compared to Peter Obi. And Peter Obi is one of the few politicians in Nigeria who could get it. The only other person who can get it is former President Muhammad Buhari. He gets organic love. He gets organic love from his supporters, which we have seen over the years in which he contested for elected position until eventually he left office, despite his inability to improve the life of his people. He still enjoys organic love. He still enjoys organic love in Katsina, in many parts of northern Nigeria. They may not be happy about the outcome of his presidency, but you can't take away their love for Buhari. No other person in Nigerian politics except Peter Obi and Buhari that enjoy that kind of love anywhere in Nigeria. So you don't buy it in the market. And when you have that kind of love, there are people who are ready to spend their last dime to project him. That is it. There are people who are ready to spend their last dime to project Peter Obi. Only very few people are privileged in politics to enjoy that. That is the envy of a lot of politicians. When you are in that kind of position, people will say things about you without even you sending them to say it. People will do things for you without you sending them to do it. That is exactly what Peter Obi is enjoying. The love of the people. That does not mean that whatever is on the social media, whatsoever his supporters say about the judiciary, it is Peter Obi that is saying it. In any case, I don't see anything blackmail in telling the judiciary to do the right thing. Thank you and God bless you. And if you are new to my channel, you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you and God bless you and yours.